Hello and welcome. I'm Brett Connor.
And I'm Royce Connor, and this is
The Best We Can Do.
Here is the best we can do on today's episode. I've been looking forward to this one for a while because we are talking about one of our favorite topics. Folks, today we are talking about parenting.
Yes.
Being a parent. Now, let's start off with a little context here, folks, because I can tell that's what you're hoping for. For context, Brett is a parent, and as I've mentioned before, he is a remarkably good one. I, on the other hand, am not a parent. So I come from a perspective of working with a bunch of parents, hundreds if not thousands of them, as an educator, but I'm not a parent myself, and we know that you out there, we know some of you are parents, but others of you are happy. So let's talk about some of the reasons why and get into the world of parenting.
Oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about. The first thing I want to say was when we were thinking of a title for this podcast, we had a whole bunch of ideas. And Royce, do you remember what I proposed the title should be?
Why are we doing this?
No, that's the nightmare thought you wake up with every evening.
Oh, right.
I thought we would call this You're All Doing It Wrong.
I do remember that.
And You're All Doing It Wrong was going to be a podcast about all these observations we make about how people are doing these things, but they're doing them, let's just say, not to the best of their abilities.
I believe I gave you feedback along the lines of that could come across as a bit obnoxious.
A little obnoxious. But one of the things that I sort of pitched was, we could talk about parents and what we see parents doing and what decisions me personally, make as a parent. And we could talk about how you're doing it wrong. Now, of course, we backed away from that. We called it The Best You Can Do.
That's not what we call it. It's not called The Best You Can Do. Why don't you know the name of our podcast? Why are we doing this? Could someone get me a drink?
Ladies, we'll be doing the Alzheimer's episode next. That's going to be nice.
Oh my God. Let's play a new game. Name that podcast.
I'll take podcasts I'm a co-host of for 1,000, Alex.
Why do I do this?
I just lost $1,000. We came up with a more positive title for our podcast.
A title that I can remember, at least.
Anyway, definitely we have some criticisms to offer, some insights, some observations on parenting.
No, you have insights and observations. I have criticisms.
That's true. But I thought I'd start with something that I notice a lot of parents doing. And for me personally, as a parent, something I don't like, something I do not do myself. And that is treating your kids like friends.
Oh my God, it's so annoying.
You are never, ever going to hear me call one of my kids buddy or pal. No, it's not my job to be their friend.
I have seen so many parents talk to their children like they're talking to a peer, getting them involved in decision making. We need to go on a family vacation. So, buddy, where should we go? I'm like, first of all, it's not your buddy. The kid is 6. Second of all, the only place this kid wants to go on vacation is probably a place with Minnie Mouse and chocolate. Don't let them make decisions.
They don't even want to do that. They want to just sit in their rooms with their Wi-Fi and just sit on the screens all day. They don't want to do things.
The older ones, it's certainly the case. Younger ones, they cannot make a decision about which room they want to be in, let alone where they want to go on vacation. You're right.
If you would like your child to be your friend, you would expect your child to then behave in a friendly way. But often, children do not behave in a friendly way. Children can be, as they should, they can be very selfish. They want me, now.
Oh, I like that.
That's like if you had a friend who behaved like a child did, you would not be friends for long.
Oh, yeah, I'm not friends with the Kardashians.
But it's true. So I don't know what this trying to create this fake friendship out of a relationship that would never survive an actual friendship. Don't do it. You have to make tough calls as a parent. You have to do some very unpopular things as a parent, things that your child is not going to like. They might appreciate it decades in the future, but in that moment, you cannot be their friend.
I know this from working with kids so much. They don't actually want to be treated like a friend. Kids thrive when there are, in fact, clear boundaries in roles. Sure, they're going to push them all the time, but even that is a form of security. Kids want to be in a secure place where they feel like they know where the parent line is and where the being a child line is. It's better for them to know that there are boundaries.
Royce, that makes total sense to me. And they have friends. Your kids have friends, and they should behave with those peers the way you behave with a friend. That's not a good behavior for the house. The kids want to come home to something more stable, something that's more secure. They don't want to come home to a friend.
Now, you are a particularly good parent because your
Ooh, thank
boundaries
you.
are very clear. But I know that not all of your children's friends' parents have the same ability to set as clear a boundary as you have. Has there been friction in your house because of differences in parenting styles among your friends? Because they go to sleepovers. They see how other parents do it.
Royce, I'd imagine that any child would look at the parenting in another household and think the grass is greener. Like it is, oh, that's so much better. Like, oh, like, my friend's parents are so much cooler than you. I get that all the time.
My friend's parents, the Menendez family, they seem so much better.
My general response to that is always the same. I don't care. I don't care what other parents are doing. That's
Good.
their business.
They're allowed to be stupid in their own home.
Let them make decisions that they think are right for themselves, for their kids, for their guests. That's fine. But it has literally zero bearing on my decisions. And am I a little tougher, I think, on other parents? Yes. The adjective I get most from my kids about me and my parenting style, intense.
Intense.
I get, Dad, you're very intense, which I'm all for that.
Good. Be intense. It's so much better than, Dad, you're such a pushover.
Right. I don't understand parents who let their kids walk all over them. Why would anyone allow a 5-year-old to dictate how things work?
I was a teacher for 10 years. I was a principal for 6 years, and I could not believe how many times parents would come to me, someone who was not a parent and was very well known to be not a parent, who in fact celebrated that he was not a parent. How often folks would come to me because they needed parenting advice or they needed someone to be tough. I remember being a principal and a mom came into my office in the morning begging, would I please go outside to the parking lot to get their child out of the car so they could come to school that day. The child refused. The child was 7 years old, refused to get out of the car to come to school. And the parent couldn't possibly fathom that they could, in fact, get their own child out of the car because they are, the parent. No, they had to go down and get the principal to come up and get the child out of the car. I did it. I was not proud of the fact that I did it. It required this, walking to the parking lot and saying, kid, get out. Kid got out, went to school.
Right. I don't understand parents who are not willing, frankly, to be a little tough with their kids. Be tough. That's not a bad thing. Now, just to be clear, I am not talking about putting your hands on your children. I'm not talking about corporal punishment in schools. I'm certainly not talking about hitting or striking. I have never done that. I would never do that.
Well, we can dream, can't we?
Every now and then, like, a swift kick in the shins would really end this argument now. But we're going to let it go on because we're responsible parents.
Excellent.
But do it. This is what happens when you want to be friends. When you want to be friends with your kids, you're not going to be the person who's going to come in and demand they get out of the car.
Oh, Lordy,
It's
please.
very unfriendly.
Yeah. Parents, your child is not a participation trophy with teeth. It is a human being. Treat it as such. Set boundaries.
Oh, absolutely. Another thing, my kids' friends, one thing they think is funny about me is I'm pretty formal. I'm pretty old-fashioned in that sense. I insist on being Mr. Connor. I do not like it when a young person calls me by my first name.
I would lose my mind entirely.
For me, it's about respect. And one of the ways you demonstrate that is you call someone, an adult, when you're a kid, Mr., Miss, Mrs. You do not use a first name. The only time I would stretch that is when Miss comes before the first name. Because we had like a very, very, very dear neighbor who I know is a bestie and is listening to this right now. To my kids, she's Miss Carol.
Oh, Miss Carol. Hi, Miss Carol. We love you.
Love you, Miss Carol. We miss you. That's okay. You can use her first name, but not just, you can't call her Carol. You can call her Miss Carol. Another dear friend is Miss Elizabeth, who I also know is listening. That's okay. But someone who calls me Brett. Mm-mm. No. No.
Does anyone call you Mr. Brett?
Don't think I've ever been called Mr. Brett.
Good, because it sounds stupid.
It does sound a little stupid. But I have corrected young people who come to my house and call me Brett.
Oh, you better start calling me Mr. Shut the hell up, because you're not calling me that. It is Mr. Connor or Mr. Get Out of My House.
It reminds me, before I had kids, my imagination of what parenting would be like, what I would be like as a parent, was pretty set. I thought I would do things a certain way. Like, I will never forget, before I had kids, like, I would never be one of those parents who just puts their kids in front of the television just to get them quiet and out of the way.
Ha!
That lasted about 10 seconds.
Good.
Like, that is a tool. Use it. Sometimes you have to. But I also didn't realize lurking deep within my psyche was a personality that I have come to refer to as Mama Bear.
Dun, dun, dun.
I had no idea Mama Bear existed. I thought I was just little old me until one day, the kids came home from school. This is elementary school. And they said one of our classmates called us the N-word on the walk home from school today.
Now, folks who are having raised eyebrows right now, Brett's kids are black.
I probably should have mentioned that.
It is a relevant part of the story, I think.
It's an extremely relevant part of the story that someone called my kids the N-word. And they didn't say, quote, N-word. They said the actual word. And this change, this Incredible Hulk-like change came over me.
Oh, the eyes turned green.
All that. The chilling music, the lights dimmed, the house shook. Like, all of that happened. I collected every single one of the kids, collected my husband. The kids were foster adopted, so their social worker was with us. I grabbed her, and I marched this party all the way down to this house where the kid was. Banged on the door. Out came this kid's mother, and I explained everything.
I'm willing to venture a guess that the kid and the kid's family were not black.
They were not. And I wasn't yelling and screaming and frothing at the mouth, violent. I wasn't any of those things, but I was, I'll say it, I was intense.
Oh, intense.
Mama Bear is very intense.
Mr. Brett's upset, folks.
Oh, no, that's, Mama Bear that's Miss Brett.
Oh, God help us all.
Miss Brett, scary. Yeah, Mama Bear has done some stuff. Anyway, so I'm talking to this kid's mother. She goes back and gets him, and we bring him down the stairs. It's an external staircase, so everyone's down watching the scene. Oh, he has to walk down the flight of stairs.
Shame! Ring the bell. Shame!
Yes.
Ring the bell.
Apologize to every single one.
I love it.
One after another. And then right back up the stairs he goes. I say, thank you very much to the mother. And she said, we'll take care of this. Close the door, and that was that.
And another proud Republican was born.
I realize that when someone comes and messes with my kids, they get Mama Bear.
I love it. Good.
They get Mama Bear. I explained this to my cousin on the Puerto Rican side. She says, oh, you parent like a Puerto Rican.
Ooh, that is about as high a compliment as you are likely to get, folks.
Puerto Ricans parent real intense. Oh, Mama Bear's done crazy. Mama Bear kicked down a door in my house. Oh. Yeah. When the one time one of my kids decided they were going to lock me out, that happened one time. Never again. Because Mama Bear.
We were raised Puerto Rican, and let me assure you folks, you're raised Puerto Rican, slippers and sandals, they are meant for wearing on the feet as the second use of these things, not the first.
Oh, yeah. Now, I don't do that. Like I said, I really, really don't believe in that. Truly.
I know. I tried to talk you out of it, but you are a good parent.
For moral and practical reasons, I don't believe in it. But I will say the intensity, it's, the laser beams. I've also developed what's known as the look.
Oh, the look is important.
I've got the look, which is fiery laser stare that just stops whatever's happening.
The look of death.
That look is a precursor to Mama Bear. I don't have to go for Mama Bear if the look is sufficient, but I have developed a pretty good look.
Okay, you're not full Mama Bear yet, but you are considering changing your pronouns in that moment.
Just Miss.
Love it.
She is not to be trifled with. But who would have known? I mean, would you have thought? I mean, we grew up, you've known me my whole life. Would you have thought there was a Mama Bear inside of me, Royce?
Oh, of course I would.
What?
I knew from the very beginning that one of the traits you would take on would be the traits of our own parents who were very strict about boundaries. they did give us wide boundaries to be the kinds of kids and young adults we wanted and needed to be, but they were also very clear where that boundary was, and if you stepped one toenail over that line, kabooey!
That is true. I mean, loving, of course, and remain loving to this
they're
day.
amazing.
But there was serious parenting. That makes me think we could get a second opinion on that right from the source.
Speaking of being raised Puerto Rican,
the time has come, ladies and gentlemen, besties, for a segment that we dreamed of very early on in the development of this podcast. It's time for That's My Myrna. That's my Myrna. That's my Myrna.
Folks, our mother's first name is Myrna, and I'll tell you, she has books of wisdom to share about any topic. Parenting is certainly one of them, so we think it's time for you to meet her. Now, if you've been on our YouTube page, there's a video of her. Go check her out. She's wonderful. I'm sure she'll appear in future videos, but I think it's time to bring her into, Brett, what's the name of our podcast again?
Smart List.
Oh, we're getting sued for sure. Well, we are going to bring our mother onto the podcast to give some of her thoughts and feelings about parenting and being a parent. Folks, get ready for this. If you don't have a drink in your hand, go get it now. All right, we're going to call. All right, here we go.
Good afternoon, children.
Mom!
Hey, Mom. What we're talking about on the podcast today, Mom, is parenting.
Parenting? I mean, that's something. Parenting, it's like from birth to adulthood. We had 3 kids to be responsible for. That's a big responsibility. But it wasn't as hard as people think it is, really. And the time went so fast.
Okay, so when you think about some of the challenging things that you had to do as a parent with us, what comes to mind? Does a specific incident come to mind, or a time in our development, a certain age?
Well, let's see. The challenging part is, the things you would do when you were babies. There would be poop all over the walls sometimes, or...
You haven't seen Royce's walls recently. He has not grown out of that.
So little has changed.
Or getting some baby powder and sprinkling the entire second floor with baby powder, or playing and breaking a bone, or getting a concussion, or you never know.
Well, that's not so
you
bad.
kids are pretty good, actually. You didn't give us too much trouble.
Pretty good. Jeez.
Yeah. We're lucky, actually. But I think that maybe that has a lot to do with parenting, because, it's funny, because most of parenting is not parenting. It's saying things like, go clean your room before the government comes in and puts a sign up. It's not livable.
This government might do that.
Yeah.
You make it sound like we were raised in Grey Gardens or something. You had a beautiful home.
Yeah, we do. We do have a beautiful home. What does that have to do with parenting? Parenting is setting, I think, good examples for your children.
Yes.
You have to keep them clean. You have to make sure they go to school. You guys went into scouting. You're all Eagle Scouts, all 3 of you. You were in band. You were president of the class, editor of the school newspaper, captain of the track team. I mean, you guys are amazing. But that has a lot to do with parenting.
Yeah, Mom, how much do you think parenting is about making sure that your friends who are also parents know how much better your children are than theirs?
You shouldn't do that. Who would do that?
Oh, I can think of one person.
That's something I wouldn't do. What? I mean, that's awful.
Well, you could have.
Well, no, I didn't.
You can think it in your mind, though, right?
That my kids are better than other children?
Yeah, you can think that. That's okay.
Oh, yeah, you could think that, but I
Perfect.
would never go out and tell someone that.
As long as you believe that to be true.
Yeah, with you guys, it was easy.
Oh, wait. Were we boring children?
Boring. Oh, my God.
Like, it's like we said we were pretty good. Like, it's a pretty good boring.
I don't think any child is boring. It depends on what age you're at. My goodness.
I'll tell you this, Mom. This is Brett, of course. I literally have lost count of how many times I've been to the emergency room with my children. It has happened so many times. I don't exactly remember how many times I've been.
I think they just reserve you a room at this point,
They've named a wing after us. There's a standing order. Accept the Connor children.
Well,
So my kids, I would say, they're never, ever boring. But it sounds like we did, surely there were some things.
Well, sometimes you find things out after they're grown, and one of your friends will come in and tell us something you did that we didn't know anything about, which spared us the agony. But I mean, you guys were, I would say, fairly normal kids. You just didn't get in too much trouble, which was okay with us, except for your brother. Let's see, Brian, what did he do? Oh yeah,
throw him under the bus. I like it.
Oh yeah, criticizing him is fun.
When they took the McDonald's tray. Stole the McDonald's tray, what is it called, about 50 cents worth, and he was caught, and the police brought him to our home. That was frightening.
I definitely remember the day our older brother was brought home by the police.
Yeah, for a tray of McDonald's tray. Goodness. Or I yelled out, I think, is that what an Eagle Scout does?
You yelled that out?
I'm sure she did.
Yeah. But honestly, you guys are pretty good. What did you do that I don't know about? How about you telling me that now?
Is it too late to tell her about the Pentagon Papers, or she can probably go on without knowing about that?
I figure at some point they'll renovate the house and find the skeletons behind the wall.
I don't think so. I'm too old for that.
No, they're not going to find the skeletons.
No.
They might find the beer cans that we moved.
It's funny because, both your parents worked at the Pentagon during the Vietnam War.
I did know that, yeah.
Yes, you did, yeah.
All right, let me ask you this question.
I got the Pentagon Papers. I didn't have any, even though I had a secret clearance.
We are going to be on a list now. Oh, gosh.
Thank you.
I'll tell Stephen Miller you said hello.
You better be careful. I have connections.
Oh God. Okay, this is Brett. I'm going to ask you this question. So you are now a grandparent. You're a grandmother. You have 4 grandchildren.
For sure.
What are some of the parenting decisions you've seen us make that you thought, I'm not sure I would have done that?
Oh my gosh.
It's okay. It's all. We'll put it out there. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, if I said something like that, well, I was watching you parenting, you would get upset.
I think I would be upset if you volunteered it, but I'm asking you. I would really be curious, and I'm sure the listeners would love to know. Like, what did you think?
Oh, Mom, this is Royce. I'll tell you, any criticism you can make of Brett, I support 100%.
Fair.
But okay, he asked for it, didn't he?
I asked for it.
All right. Sometimes I think you don't give your kids a chance to explain a situation that you're mad about.
You mean like I cut them off and don't let them finish a sentence?
You just keep going and going, and you don't give them a chance to explain.
I think that's fair. I guarantee I do that. I know I do that.
Yeah. I know you do. Yeah.
And I will say it's something, kids, I know you listen. I am actively working on it. Actively.
Oh, well, that's maybe good parenting. There you go.
I think that's something about being a good parent is you have to be aware of what you're doing and work hard at doing it better. And that's something I need to do better at, is being more patient with the kids.
Okay.
No question about it.
Royce doesn't have to worry about that.
I think one of the best parenting decisions any of your children made was a decision not to be a parent, and I believe I am the only one who made that decision, so I will pat myself on the back for that wisdom.
Well, fine. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Ooh, good answer. Thanks, Mom. Mom, what between me and Brett, which one of us do you think was easier to raise, starting with me?
Well, that makes it sound like you were perfect.
Don't put words in my mouth.
No, our listeners know that Royce is not perfect.
Did you hear Mom said I was perfect?
Yeah, right. I can't. I'm not going to answer that. There's no way I'm going to answer that.
But it's me, right? That's what you mean when you say that?
People are listening. No, I'm not going to put you in any position like that, or myself.
What if I told you I know Brett tried to sell his children on Craigslist?
Well, I would say that's a lie.
Just their kidneys.
I would say that's a lie.
You know, we had to buy a minivan, okay?
Yeah.
They're very expensive.
No, anything's expensive today.
A lot of money for kidneys.
parenting. How about, what do you think of me as a mother parenting you?
You might not remember this, Mom, but this is Royce. I remember one Christmas I was home with you in Pennsylvania, and I wasn't even thinking through this comment. To me, it was just one more thing I planned on saying, but I was teaching at the time, and of course, I was working with a lot of parents and had seen so many parents by this time, many parents truly unbelievably wonderful, and some parents should have had vasectomies at birth and everything in between. And I remember saying something along the lines to you and Dad, something like, now that I've seen so many parents, I now clearly see what great parents I had. And you burst into tears and I think cried nonstop until New Year's Eve. It was beautiful, but I wasn't even thinking about it was giving you a compliment, although obviously it was, but it was so clear to me now that I'd seen so many different parents parent, I could see how truly exceptional you were, despite all the things you did with that slipper.
That's what I could die happy now. And yes, that slipper was taught to me by my parents, because I remember being disciplined with a flying slipper that would land on my body. I guess today they would arrest my parents. You can't do that today, but yeah, it's. I guess maybe parenting changes over the generations. Who knows?
For sure, but you and Dad.
I think most parents want their kids to grow up to be self-reliant, decent, kind, productive. You know, be able to handle whatever comes in life.
Something that I've said to you about comparing the way I parent to how I was parented was, I'm playing a different game than you. That I was raised in a different place at a different time, and the responsibilities and the dangers and the pressures are so different now. But I will say this, Mom, I did not appreciate how much you did for us, fully appreciate it, until I had kids of my own. And so
gosh.
Everyone listening, you got to understand, you worked full time. You had dinner on the table at 5 o'clock for a family of 5 every single day. You drove us to all of our Cub Scout meetings. You came to all the school plays. You volunteered at all the events. It is so hard for me to fully grasp what you did for us and how much effort and sacrifice it took. I had to get to this point in my life to see it. And that's just a piece of it. This is parenting before the internet, and before you had to do so much. So much was borne on your shoulders. I mean, there's just no way of saying how grateful we are for that.
I second that. And I suppose we can give Dad some credit too.
Right now I'm pretty emotional. It's kind of hard to talk right now.
You don't need to. It's good. We love you. We love you. We love Dad, and we appreciate you both.
I think your kids are going to be saying the same thing about you someday.
Well, they won't say anything nice about Uncle Royce. I know that.
They probably forget who I am by now.
It's probably better for them.
I doubt it.
Hey,
You can't
parenting is
forget
hard
most.
work. You did your hard work, and now you're at a time in your life you get to enjoy the benefits of it. Like
She's
grandchildren.
shoveling snow. She's 80-something years old. She's shoveling snow.
She didn't move to Florida like the rest of the Puerto Ricans. That's what happens. You stay where there's snow. Mom, I think this has been so this is the segment, as you know, we're calling That's My Myrna. What a wonderful first segment that was. We will do this again.
Okay, it's a deal.
Deal.
I'm still around.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, Mom, we love you so much. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
Love you,
I
Mom.
love you more. I love you more.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wasn't that just amazing?
Who was that woman?
Why does she keep calling me?
I'm having the number changed. Well, I cannot imagine a better place to wrap it up than with Mom talking about parenting and thinking about all the great ways that she made me the person I am and all the ways she failed raising you, Brett.
I wouldn't brag about someone making you who you are. That is insulting and cruel.
That's fair. I think we are so lucky to have had parents like we had, but I know not everyone does, and I know a lot of folks out there, you are parents, and as a non-parent and a proud one, I admire what parents do, especially the ones who are setting the boundaries and doing what they need to make sure that their kids are not just happy in the moment, but are happy in the future, setting them up for success as adults, even when that means it's harder days today, working with them as kids. But parents, I just adore you. I am so inspired by what you do, and I'm in awe of parents, and I appreciate you, and I see you.
You know, parenting, I've been living the life for a long time now. It's hard and it takes sacrifice. And as I was saying, you can't spell parent without aren't.
Ha!
There are a lot of things you aren't going to do as a parent. You aren't going to have the freedom that you might recall from your younger years. You aren't going to be able to do the things you want to do when you want to do them. You aren't going to be selfish. There's a whole list of them. And there's things your kids aren't going to do. They aren't going to get as much freedom as they want to have. And they aren't going to get to do all the things that they want to do. And that's what parenting is. Not getting stuck on all those things you aren't doing, but accepting them, drawing the lines, having the tough boundaries and those hard conversations, and then loving the stuff that you do get to enjoy together.
Beautifully said, as always, Brett.
I'm full of beauty. Well, that will wrap things up for this episode. Thanks to our theme composer, Seth Weinstein.
And thank you, besties, for spending time with us today.
We know you're doing your best out there.
We can't wait to see you again soon. Like and subscribe so we can stay in touch.
You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, and Blue Sky.
Find those links, other information, and email us at www.thebestwecando.com.
For now, I'm Brett Connor.
And I'm Royce Connor.
Next time, we'll try to do better. But for now, this is the best we can do.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.